PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X hype is intensifying as we draw even more closer to the month of May. If you haven't been in the loop, so to speak, multiple rumors, in fact so many are saying the same thing that I'm not even sure if it constitutes as speculation anymore. And due to the current global pandemic, live events such as E3 and Gamescom are out. Digital events are in. Judging by the mood of the great gaming public, there's certainly an appetite for next generation hardware. After all, most of us have never had so much free time on our hands, so distractions are certainly welcome at this point, particularly during these difficult, uncertain times. Though perhaps Microsoft and Sony can remedy that, no pun intended, with digital showcase events of its upcoming respective hardware, Xbox Series X and PS5, with groundbreaking, innovative, mind-blowing experiences. It's all about to unravel sooner than you may think. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. A warm welcome back, Foxy Games UK new and existing subscribers. It is Friday, April 24. So in today's video, what do the rumours say is going down in the month of May? Well, if you believe these rumours, PlayStation gamers can look forward to a full-on PS5 reveal, including the Formfactor, a Silent Hill PS5 reveal, a new Crash Bandicoot game reveal, more on Godfall perhaps, and even murmurs of an Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, but will it be exclusive to PlayStation 5? Maybe, just maybe we're reading too much into this, or maybe not, but Guerrilla Games has tweeted hints that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is in development using a PlayStation 5 hashtag no less, so make of that what you will. So many questions and so many darned questions. Shout out to Twitter handle Hunter@NextGenPlayer, who's been rather vocal about a lot of this stuff, this next gen stuff. Give them a follow right after you follow Foxy Games UK, of course. Though notwithstanding the other player seated at the video game table, Microsoft with its own next gen contender, the Xbox Series X. Yes, the Redmond firm is heavily rumored to hold its Xbox game reveal. Yes, you guessed it, in May, when a Fable reboot and a new Forza entry and more on the highly anticipated Halo Infinite really and other unknowns are expected to be revealed also. But in fact, the next Xbox Series reveal will be all about games and won't be too much of a wait, at least according to Xbox boss Phil Spencer. Yes, it's all very exciting stuff. There's just been too many industry types all singing from the same hymn sheet, giving a lot more weight and credibility to the proceedings, adding to the social media discord, developers and ex-Sony/Microsoft execs dishing up their own opinions on the PS5 versus Xbox SX performance/power narrative. Again, our friends over at PlayStationUniverse.com, who in turn credits VideoGamesChronicle.com, has reported, and just within the past 24 hours, ex-Sony Studio Liverpool, notably they used to make Formula 1 games, while an ex-employee at that studio has said in relation to PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X, and I quote, "Microsoft's console is a beast." Indeed, former Sony Studio Liverpool developer Chris Granell has claimed that the Xbox Series X is a beast compared to PS5, suggesting Sony was caught off guard by the high specifications of Microsoft's next generation console. That's certainly a rather curious statement to make, but that's not all. Granell goes on to say, PS5 is not a bad console, it's an absolute beast of a piece of hardware, but it's just a piece of hardware which is slower on numerous kinds of paths than what Microsoft has put together. So according to Granell's sources, the differences in power between PS5 and Xbox Series X is quite staggering, and it seems that Microsoft has the edge in terms of tech specs. Apparently the general consensus among developers Granell had spoken to is that the machine that Microsoft has put together is a beast compared to what Sony is offering. Granell went on to elaborate, and I quote, "I think Sony has kind of rested on their laurels a little bit. They've got this massive market share and lead, and they've kind of done a PlayStation 3 is what I've been hearing. It's not that bad in terms of hardware and complications and things like that, but just a little bit of they didn't really kind of appreciate what Xbox were going to try and do in terms of this power narrative, and there's no question that they got caught off guard. There's no question that Microsoft has been working a little bit closer with AMD on some of the technologies that they're working on." Well. That's not what we've been hearing from third-party and Sony first-party developers actually working on PlayStation 5 games, quite the contrary. So let's analyze this. On one hand, we have an ex-PlayStation employee talking up Xbox Series X, and on the other we have an ex-Microsoft employee who has worked on the original Halo series, who is talking up PlayStation 5. So many differing opinions, but with what's at stake here, certainly par for course. But before you get too dismissive, here's a little background on Chris Grenell, who spent around 14 years working with Sony on titles such as Wipeout and Formula 1, and also enjoyed a stint at Guerrilla Games before going freelance. Whatever you believe, the next 90 days, meaning during the months of May, June and July, are going to be very significant for both PS5 and Xbox Series X. Make no mistake. Though it has to be said, from my point of view at least, the faster, more efficient AMD Zen CPUs in both PS5 and Xbox Series X and the SSD benefits are far more important to me. I'm less concerned about each, really, of the platform's GPU power narratives. We already enjoy incredible visuals with the current generation PS4 Pro and Xbox One X hardware. I mean, most would have been happy with this hardware to date if they were able to consistently run 60 FPS gaming. The outdated, no longer fit for purpose Jaguar CPU was the main issue, not PS4 and Xbox One's GPU capability, which rather segues nicely into another PlayStationUniverse.com article, with developers saying PS5 and Xbox Series X CPU and SSD are the key to next gen. PS5 and Xbox Series X indeed are impressive pieces of kit, at least in terms of raw specs, and it's been claimed that Microsoft's console, as I say, is a beast in comparison to Sony's new system. Now, while the Twitter kids duke it out over which platform has the superior T-flops, if you ask the development community, you know, those folks who make games, while they seem far more concerned with other next-gen features and not teraflops. Indeed, developers consider CPU and SSD, not teraflops, as the key features in next-generation consoles, according to Tom Warren, senior editor at The Verge. Here's a quote. "I've been saying this for a year, that CPU and SSD are key to next-gen consoles, not teraflops. Developers are saying the same thing. I've also been saying Lockhart won't undermine next-gen games." Warren also went on to say that ray tracing features will mean that developers will start to take things more seriously, while the CPU and SSD affords more 60 frames per second gaming on console. Finally, a Sony Interactive Entertainment patent regarding its rather comparatively expensive PS5 cooling system has now gone public and is viewable online. Reports claim Sony are intent on mitigating the somewhat obtrusive jet-like sound of its PS4 hardware by ensuring a whisper-quiet operation, with every PS5 unit behaving identically in terms of thermals. Apparently, PS5 will not suffer overheating issues commonly associated with older PlayStation hardware, allocating 4 times the financial resources of the overall PS5 research and development budget, compared to the PS4's rather simplistic basic functional cooling system, which is all round good news and a relief to many, I'm sure. Now, I just want to address this before I go. A lot of people have been asking me as to what form factor the PlayStation 5 will take. Well, what I can say is it won't be built like a tower, as in Microsoft's excellent minimalist design, a design I rather like, by the way. Let it be known, I love sharing what I can with you, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to answer specific questions after every PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X related tweet I post. I'm not tethered to my keyboard, and quite frankly I have little time for know-nothing skeptics. Though in terms of upcoming next-gen digital showcase events, this may be something you never saw coming. But what say you? Go ahead, sound off, and share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of another video, but let's continue the discussion cordially in the comments. And for all your current and next-gen news updates, rumor and rampant speculation, hit the like button, spread the word, and keep it locked to Foxy Games UK. Remember, relevant links where applicable can be found in this video's description. Subscribe to Foxy Games UK. Remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you like it here, and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing the video. Consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, and or grab yourself a Foxy Games UK branded t-shirt or hoodie, available in various colours and designs. You'll find both links in the video's description. Truly appreciate the support. Proceeds will go to COVID-19 relief. And that concludes our time together today. Have as good a weekend as you can. It was certainly great hanging out. Until the next video, remember, play games, not corporations.